Hi friends, welcome to your own YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to discuss 5 prelims power play questions which are based on current affairs. These questions are framed in such a manner which have a high probability of coming in the prelims examination next year. Let us start with the first question. Okay, let us start with the first question. The first question is on convertible bonds. This question I have picked from the previous year question. The reason why I have picked this question, because if you are following the Adani and NDTV news, you must have come across a term called convertible debentures. Okay, so in that respect, I have framed two questions today, one on debentures and other on bonds, because debentures and bonds are quite a related concept. Okay, let us read the question, and in that way I will explain you the concept of bonds and debentures also. Okay, let us read the question. The first statement says, okay, recently with reference to convertible bonds, consider the following statements. The first statement says that as there is an option to exchange the bond for equity, convertible bonds pay a lower rate of interest. Guys, bonds are fixed income instruments. Generally, bonds are given by government or corporates, okay, to raise money from the market. Okay, to raise money from the market. Okay, so generally what happens that, okay, these are fixed instruments, but there is a special category of bonds where you can convert some part of the bond to equities of that company. You can convert some part of the bond to equities of the company. That is why they are called convertible bond. So this is an added advantage which the investor gets. Therefore, the interest rates on such bonds are relatively lesser than the normal bonds, which is a common sense because it is giving you some advantage. You can convert it into equities. Okay, in normal case you cannot convert it, so it is giving you some advantage. Therefore, it is a true statement. It will pay you little bit lower interest. The second statement says that the option to convert equity, to equity affords the bondholder a degree of indexation to the rising consumer prices. Guys, what happens when the prices are rising, when the inflation is there? Okay, so this fixed interest investments like bonds or fixed deposits, okay, their value reduces because, okay, suppose they are giving you 7%, on the other hand inflation is 5%, so the value of that investment reduces, so there is no safety to the investors. On the other hand, if it is a convertible bond where you can change it into equity, so we all know that equities are a better safeguard against inflation than fixed income instruments like FDs or bonds. So in that case, this statement is also true. Okay, I hope you understood the logic why the second statement is also true. Guys, therefore the answer to this question will become 1 and 2 both. Okay, let us read the second statement. Let us read the second question. The second question says, this I have framed on the recent news of debentures, convertible debentures, okay, which is in the context of Adani Enterprises taking over the NDTV. Okay, so you see both bonds and debentures are debt instrument. Yes, both bonds and debentures are long-term debt instruments which are used by companies to raise long-term capital. Okay, second statement says that bonds are riskier than debentures. This is an incorrect statement because generally bonds are secured by a collateral, whereas debentures are non-secured. Since they are non-secured, they are riskier, and since they are secured, they are stable. So second statement is incorrect. Therefore, the answer to the question becomes 1 only. I hope you understood the difference between a debenture and a bond. Both are same. Both are same to an extent because both are debt instruments. Both are long-term debt instruments which are used by companies to raise capital. But there is a difference. What is the difference? Bonds are secured, whereas debentures are not secured. Bonds are used by both private sector companies and the government, but generally debentures are generally used by private sector companies. Guys, I hope you are learning the concept. If you like the discussion, please hit the like button and please share your feedback. Please share your feedback and please share this with your friends. I can promise you, friends, if you follow this for the next 1 year, no force on earth can stop you from cracking the prelims exam. And I'm telling you from my experience, I have done it and I'm ready to help you to crack the prelims examination. Okay, let us read the third statement. Let me explain you why did I frame this question. I framed the question on office of profit because we have seen in the newspaper that one of the chief ministers of one of the state has been recommended by the election commission to get disqualified, okay, because he was holding an office of profit. So in this context, we must understand what is this office of profit concept, and let us try to basically solve a question on office of profit. Guys, office of profit has been there in our constitution in order to safeguard separation of power. Guys, the role of elected MPs and MLAs is to make the government accountable. But if suppose this elected MPs and MLAs are given office of profit where they get some kind of monetary benefits by the government, don't you think their independence will go down? Don't you think they will not be able to make the government accountable? That is why office of profit is barred in our constitution under article 102 and 191. Okay, 102 for the parliament and 191 for the state legislatures. With this background, let us try to answer this question. The first statement says that constitution bars elected representatives, MPs and MLAs from holding office of profit. That I have just explained you. Okay, the concept I have explained you, and why it bars? Because separation of power. The second statement says that constitution clearly defines what constitutes office of profit. Guys, if you read article 102 or you read article 191, you will understand that constitution does not clearly define what constitutes office of profit, and this has been interpreted by judiciary, and okay, there is no law also to define what is office of profit. Okay, so this has been interpreted by judiciary, and judiciary has said that any kind of office where the elected member of the house, whether it is the LAQSHYA, Rajya Sabha or the state assemblies, get some kind of pecuniary benefit, some kind of monetary benefit, that kind of office will be called what? Office of profit. Will be called office of profit. And no elected MP or MLA will be allowed to hold that office. If they hold, they will be disqualified. Okay, so this statement is incorrect. This statement is incorrect. The third statement says that the parliament and state legislature can, through a law, exempt few offices from office of profit. Yes, okay, you know, Indian Parliament has passed a law which is Prevention from Disqualification 1959, where it lists few of the offices which are protected from office of profit. And this act has been amended n number of times, and more offices are enlisted in that which are prevented from office of profit disqualification. So this statement is also correct. Okay, because 1959 act is there. Clearly the answer would go which is 1 and 3. Okay, how many of you got it right? Okay, please tell in the comment box. Okay, let us read the fourth statement. Let me first explain you why did I frame this question. Guys, you know, El Nino and La Nina are two different phases of ENSO. Guys, you know, for the last 3 years, we are having La Nina. Okay, and recently, okay, you see, Australian Bureau of Meteorology has predicted that for the third consecutive years, we are going to have La Nina. In that context, we must understand the concept of La Nina and El Nino, because this is very important this year, because it's the third consecutive year we are having such kind of geographical phenomena. Let us try to read the statements. The first statement says that, okay, La Nina is unusual warming and El Nino is unusual cooling of tropical eastern Pacific. Guys, I have told you in my previous lectures of the prelims power play and also optional elimination techniques that whenever two similar terms are compared, generally what UPSC does, UPSC changes the related terms. UPSC changes the related terms. So if you have learnt La Nina and El Nino, you can tell easily that La Nina is cooling and El Nino is heating or warming. So this statement is incorrect. Okay, this statement is incorrect, but you can solve this statement by option elimination technique also. Let us read the second statement. Second statement says that La Nina causes drought in India, whereas El Nino causes flooding. Guys, as you must be observing these days, throughout India, okay, we are seeing floods. And this is La Nina phase. This means La Nina causes floods, not drought. Whereas El Nino causes drought, not flood. So this statement is also incorrect. The third statement says that La Nina occurs at regular intervals, whereas El Nino in irregular intervals. Guys, as I told you in the beginning only, El Nino and La Nina both are the opposite phases of ENSO. So how can it be possible that La Nina is regular and El Nino is irregular? It cannot happen. Both are irregular or both are regular. Okay, therefore this also can be eliminated. So the answer, my friend, is all three are incorrect. All three are incorrect. Let us solve the last question. Guys, SAS is in news. It is such an important topic that this year UPSC has asked this question on SAS. So I have framed a little bit different question on SAS. Okay, I have framed on the benefits of SAS. What are the advantages? What are the benefits of SAS, software as a service? Briefly, let me explain to you what do we mean by software as service. Traditionally, what used to happen, suppose I want to use a software, what I have to do is I have to download that software, install that software in my hardware, and then I have to use that software. Okay, this means a lot of cost was involved, a lot of time was involved, a lot of learning was involved to run that software. But nowadays what happens, that the softwares are basically there in the cloud. They are hosted in the cloud, and whenever I want that software through my PC, through an internet connection, I will call that software, I will use it, and then my work is done. Okay, so it is like, okay, on demand software service. So obviously when the things are in on demand, obviously the cost reduces, time reduces, and pay becomes variable. Therefore you see notable savings in finance, notable time saving, and it gives a lot of flexibility. So all statements are correct. Now I am giving you one assignment. Give me 5 types of SAS. Okay, names of 5 types of SAS which you are using daily. In your PCs. Please name them in the comment box. I am going to see how many of you have got it right. Okay, guys, you see how I have linked. Let us see the how much marks we have got. Okay, great. 5 out of 5. How much marks you have got? Please comment in the comment box. Guys, you see the way I am framing the questions. I am linking the previous year questions. I am understanding the pattern from the previous year, and from the current affairs I am relating them, and I am framing the question. I am also using the optional elimination techniques for you. Guys, I can tell you, if you learn this technique, in the next year, till next year, and you solve multiple number of questions. You guys, many candidates, what mistake they do is that they think that just by year end they will solve few mocks and they will qualify the prelims examination. Guys, I am telling you, prelims is becoming very challenging. I have seen people struggling for years because they are neglecting the prelims preparation. They have the ability, they can crack this exam very easily, but the mistake what they do is they overestimate what that last में कैसे भी करके कर लेंगे, and they're underestimating what? Daily hard work. daily consistent work they're underestimating. So if you solve this PPP daily along with me, and if you understand these concepts, if you listen to these discussions, I can challenge you, you will definitely crack the prelims examination. Thank you, bye bye, take care.